Good morning. Thank you for joining me today. I'm having a play day. I've decided to put aside all of the world outside, the Christmas plans, the doings, and I'm taking a day in my happy place to make ephemera, which I like doing as much as anything I can think of. I'm also have been thinking about my arting and crafting in the new year, and one of the things that I did decide was that, and I hope you will understand, I am going to, when I do this, I'm going to play until I'm finished playing, and I've been very, very aware of time constraints previously, and I've decided that that is kind of hampering my fun a little bit, so I'm going to play, and it might be cause this to be a long video. But then, as my husband mentioned to me when I was grousing about making the decision, he said, well, there's such a thing as a pause button, and you can always stop watching and come back to it later. And I thought, well, that would work, and I hope that it works for you. Look at all of these things that I have to share. I've got my usual culprits out. Sources of paper for collage, medium size, smallies, my handy dandy lace basket, and my two little ones, in case I wish to use them, and this I will come back to, but right now, down in the bottom of one of my similar baskets in the stack, I found this pair of square envelopes that I had done, and I'd even distressed the edges a little bit, and if possible, it might not be today, but it might be the next time I sit down to play. I want to get to playing here, but that's a it can wait. This morning I was going through my folders, and I found my Roxy Creations paper, and thank you, Rachel. These are her antique, and when Roxy says antique, when Rachel says antique, she means seriously antique, from Italy. These are gorgeous papers that I had run off. I want to cut more of these labels to put in this basket, and one thing, of course, led immediately to another, and doesn't it always? So that's my fussy cutting. And I picked two pieces of her paper, an old, obviously folded piece of ephemera, in Italian, of course, 22, and that says 13, maybe it, I have no idea, but isn't this just delish? So I fussy cut it a little bit and tried to fold it and wear it a little bit on the folds, and it worked out so beautifully. Or it could be like this, but I don't think so. I think it would have been like this, and I can turn it into whatever, and even put something on the inside. So that's going to be number 1 or 2 for today. I'm not sure. And then these two were on a piece of the paper, and I've decided, well, old letters and or no, they look like old postal cards. So these just called to me, and I'm thinking I'm going to do a fabric. This is next. But before I get to that, I wanted to share this. Now, this, of course, is not an original Carol. I broke down and purchased one of these now on Amazon because I've watched Gail Agostinelli, and they do work. They do work a treat. However, I did not get the fancy-dancy leather one. I got this one, and this is made in Savannah, Georgia, and it was to me in 2 days, and it's It smells a little bit, but I've been leaving it out in the air and it's much better. And $10 cheaper. That's an example of Carol being frugal. This Dollar Tree, thank you, Gail, for this idea on making an altered book. Well, this is an altered new book. I have done altered old books before, but this just struck me as something to think about. Draw your weapons, bullets, and a paintbrush with paint. I don't know, and I don't want to know what's going on in here. Okay, but nice condition. This bit can be covered up. 2017. And Bertolt Brecht, in the dark times, will there also be singing? Yes, there will be singing about the dark times. Oh, happy thoughts. So, I'm going to start here, and I believe that Gail made many interesting folds in and pockets in the paper, and took 8 to 10 papers between, so that that's what she removed from the book. So I am going to put these two papers together as a side tuck. I'm going to do this one as a folded tuck with this one. And then I'm going to take out some pages. So this is going to be the front of this group of pages that I'm removing. And let's start removing. They remove so easily. 4. 5. I have I'm going to declare that good. Okay, now I'm going to use this. I think I might have already lost track. Oh, goody. Okay, there are the lost pages in between. So I'm going to glue these two together and make a top pocket. And also, I've decided that the art glitter glue, I might try something with it. So I found a collection of these in my stash, and this does take some thinking about when you first do it. And I think this is working rather nicely. Yes, I do. So this will just give you a small idea of what I'm going to be doing now. As Gail demonstrated, when you glue these pages, that you must take this page that you're gluing down and close the book down on it, so that the page ends up with no puffs, no bulges, and it's glued in place. And it is glued over the removed sheets. So let's go backwards now. I think I decided that I would do this one as a fold. I think so. Now this paper, of course, is the exact quality that you would expect from a book like this, and but it's still it's still going to be very good for playing. So, here again, and you can think of all different ways of folding. And on one of them, Gail does a double folded pocket like this. And when you're gluing two together, down you go with it. Down you go with it, and so it gets flat with no runs, hits, or errors. Now 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, that's quite sufficient. Now, I think I'll just go back and do this as a side pocket, and I'm going to be playing with this in the evenings. That's approximately in the center. We can only hope. Or not. Now, I'm just going to glue this one and glue it here. And closed. I think I'm liking that. And now, closing the book on the glued bits, and so we're off to the races. And it is quite incredible the way, if I give myself an hour with this, I can get through the entire book, have my pages removed, have a side pocket here, tuck there, top pocket, and so on right through the book. Thank you so much, Gail, and I'm going to have fun into the new year and beyond, collaging and prettying up these pages to my heart's content, and I just wanted to share that with you before we get to business here. Alrighty, now, I had in my mind to put these two pages together, hinge them with fabric, and I'm not knowing whether or not I want to play on them. I want to cover them a little bit first and then hinge them. Yes, I think so. And some green tea because of the cold weather. It is, we woke up to about 31, 32 degrees this morning in northeast Florida, in Jacksonville, and it's worked itself up to a whole 40 degrees outside. So I have on my leggings and slipper socks, and an A.C. Moore man's long-sleeved t-shirt, and my green tea, and I'm a happy puppy. Now, yes, that's what I'm going to do, but first let's find the hinge fabric. Let's go to the trims, etc. drawer. I got neat, as you can see. I've been trying, yes I have, slowly but surely to get some control of this good stuff. Ooh, my, and I wouldn't have to rip either, would I? Too much, at all, maybe. Let's see if this would do. Would it work? Maybe a little thick, but then why not? Okay. Now, some bits of paper. Let's cover these a little bit. Are they going in the right direction? Yes. And yes. Okay, we're off. We're off to the races. What can we see here? Oh, how nice is that? How nice is that one? And a little bit of part of the Digi from Roxy Creations. Miss Rachel. She is working with her husband on these, and his talent, if we're doing this, is just as nice as hers. We're almost, Rachel, almost. Let's say that. There we go. And what else do we have here? What else do we have here? Might look nice. So old and tender. It was fine, thin paper to begin with. I think it was in a very cheap kids' starter stamp collecting album, and so it's what's this? A piece of avocado? Ooh, not too much of a piece of avocado. Let's hope for more. Good. There's all of my green masking paper. Love it, love it. What else do we have in here? Anything? Oh my! This is a treasure trove. Good old-fashioned standby. Okay. This side done. And now this one. What is down here a little deeper? Oh, good stuff. See what happens? It's been a while since I've been troving around in here, and you so quickly forget what's here. Up and upright, or until and up. Well, that's definitely a possibility. Yes, it is. Definitely a possibility. Oh, aren't these some nice old puppies? Oh, look at that. Person sitting on an unhappy person sitting on a boat. I'll have to do something to cover that up, but that looks nice. Put that one over there. And that one get in there. Wrong place. Wrongy. Ooh, numbers. Absolute treasure. Absolute treasure trove. Okay. Oh, my. Oh, and some really pretty stuff down here, tucked in the bottom, but I just had a thought about a little bit of this one, my gluing paper, but oh my goodness, this is so soft, it almost feels spongy. Almost feels spongy. And right there. Right there it goes. Alrighty, I'm going to put the backgrounds on these, and we'll be back to resume playtime. Well, I'm going to finally have some sense and use the grid on my cutting mat here, and with the wax paper under it, and I'm going to get a little bit of a starter here with the glue. Now this length of fabric has less writing on it than the other one, so I'm going to put the one in the front on that has less, and I'm going to use the other one for the inside, and I'm doing a double take with glue here. use those two outside lines. This should be, this should hopefully get the job done. Okay. And inside. Let's get the bottom bit done here. And I'm going to put some of this in here. Yes, I am. Okay. That should hold that nicely. And when in doubt, wax paper. Now, more of that, and some of that. I'm liking the amount of glue that I'm getting with this handy dandy goodie that I found in the bottom of my junk drawer. Not junk, but there it was. And here we are. Let's see what happened. Oh my. Well, I can certainly, I could certainly add pages in here, couldn't I? Yes, I could, if I sewed it in the ditch down here. Well, I'm thinking yes. I'm thinking yes. Okay. Next act for this now is to find just a little something something to put on the inside here. Just a little something something for the inside. Maybe this might be just what the doctor ordered for the inside. No, I want a little bit of, a little tiny bit of color in here. And what have we got here? I don't use these too often, but they're very nice when they, I think that just might be quite enough for the inside. And right on that line would be a good place for it. Just a little softening around it. Yes. And this one. Oh my. Well, I lost the lining paper for that one. I'll find it when I least want to. I hope that your holiday plans, if you're celebrating, are going along, and that you're looking forward. Okay, now. Maybe if you didn't have it backwards, Carol, it would help. Now, here we go. Here, to keep that stem perpendicular. And this little righty spot. Good, good, good. This is certainly just ready for some serious playing. And I think I have something that I might want to put right there. I'm going to put my postage up there on this one. But I need a little bit more script. I have a stamp that I think will do it. Just to put the idea of some, just to put the idea there. There it is. T for top. Yay. Okay. Just a little something, something right there. Okay. How about some espresso? I don't want it to be too dark, too black. So let's have a little gathered twigs. No, Carol. Got it going the wrong way. See, I fixed this box. And that is another thing about sometimes fixing things and getting things straightened out can be quite something, something. Vintage photo. Ground espresso. I also took care of all of that because I was pawing around like I was silly, looking around for sponges that went with. And just maybe there. Good. Good. And a little more there. And maybe a smidge here. Let's get it at least lined up, Carol. Whoa. That smidge didn't do much. Carol, please. Nothing needed on the back. No, 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 no. But before I decorate, I'm thinking I'm going to take care of the postage. this one, and I really am looking forward to seeing what it does. No. No, I don't think so. That's black. Oh. Part of this is that you have to put up with me talking to myself. Maybe a little bit of this too. Let's see what we have here. Good. Good. Okay. So we use that one. And something, something. That's a big one. Just slam dunk on. Okay, good. This is just needing some numbers. Just need to have some numbers here. And I love this. I just love that. So, here we go. Now, let the playing begin. What do we want here? What do we want there? Something to play out those colors, I think. Yes, I do. Let's see if there's anything in here that just might pop into our eyes. From my old Thurber book, I know the feeling of that paper. More Thurber. Ooh, maybe a little bit for the back. Maybe just a smidge for the back. This is from my handkerchief digi. Digi, Carol, digi. Maybe just, why not have a little more gold than I would usually do. Well, this is taking quite a turn. Now, let's see what happens. Excuse me. I must stop digging because it's never ending. Oh. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Seek and ye shall find. And here they are, piling up over here. Something else. Something to soften. And there is nothing to equal cheesecloth for doing that. Yes, I think that is going to be it for the moment. I love these little bottles of Fabri-Tac. I know it's probably not monetarily sensible, but it handles very nicely. Where's my piece of, there it is. Pull this over here so it's not under my favorite stamp. And this one. Do we want the gold showing more? Or gold up? I think gold up. never, ever, ever know what's going to happen until you let it happen. I think you might want to include that quote in your book of quotes. Sorry about that. Get a little bit of white to keep it from being too monochromatic. And the good old days when you could get large pieces of corrugated like this at AC Moore. And now, of course, they have the absolute nerve to go out of business. But I guess they couldn't compete with Michael's, because the AC Moore that's quite fairly close to us is the spot is going to be taken over by Michael's. But nobody asked me. Oops, right and wrong, Carol, right and wrong. There we go. Okay. Now, something there. I believe that I saw something with those colors in here. Or something in that family. Maybe not. Oh, maybe I thought this because of that. Okay, inspection time. Audition time. Now. I can take a little bit of that away. And it'll still give me a little touch of gold and a little touch of purple. What about putting this here, just as a little hint on the back? I think so. I do believe I think so now. This one touching that. This one touching that. Okay. Let's see. this one touching that. There's the other one. Just a little bit of this, and I want to keep that beautiful old writing there. Well, I'm happier now with art glitter glue than I've been in a long time. Oh, it's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful glue. Up a little bit right there. Now, I still have the question before me as to whether or not I want to put paper in there. I keep wanting to. Let's see. Let's see what might be nice. That requires, of course, that I rethread the sewing machine, because it's, of course, full of white thread. But that's okay. Now, 2 little sip of tea. Cover on it to keep it a little bit warmer. Now, this one that I've shown you before, that is just always by my side right here on a little table, foldable table that you use for eating in the family room, or eating on your knees, as my mother would have said. So, what might we find that would be fun for inside? Inside of that, how big is it? Okay, Carol, let's have an idea. Let's have an idea. How big is it? Nice. That might be nice. What else do we have here? Cookie. What's here? Anything large enough? I'm not sure. Excuse me. I'm not sure. That might be fun. Different sizes of paper. Yes. Well, hello. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It's too small. It's white. To pull up the white from the front. That might not be so bad at all. Let's do it. Alrighty, the next time You see me, I'll be back with the pages cut, and for this little, turned out to be a little journal, a nice little scribbling journal, and I'm going to sew them down in here. Okay. As you can see, I have lined this with a piece of avocado paper. I just thought I would use something pretty and special. I love these marks and this little bit of little tiny bit of green there. Just beautiful. So I thought maybe just now, let's make sure. Okay, open it. This would be the bottom. Good. Now I want to use a little VersaFine. This is vintage sepia. VersaFine is quite juicy. I'm just going to pop a little bit down here. And I'm going to use this this VersaFine cover to help me do this job. And then some finger pressing. And, oh, nice. Alrighty, now I'm just going to put a tiny little bit up here, dripping down. Just a little bit of dripping down stuff here. And a little bit more here. Okay. Just some dripping right there. So, give this an opportunity to dry. Give this a little wipe up. I'm trying to be a better stamp mommy than I have been. So, up there we go. And now back to something for down here. You can look at that as a duo. Now, I wonder about a birdie. I wonder about a birdie. Possibly. But I seem to want a different birdie. Maybe not. Maybe not a birdie. Maybe not a birdie. Remember anything in here that might strike my fancy. This is kind of getting to be slim pickings. Oh, that's a birdie. That birdie might look nice there. Just nice there. We'll see. Nope. I don't want to hide any of Rachel's pretty live and learn, find treasures, and find treasures. Ooh, an iris. An iris and not a birdie. Oh, I think I like that. Yes, I think I do. I think I do. Now it needs something. Something. First thing it needs is a little tea dye around the edges, and maybe even a little something darker. Maybe even ground espresso. It's kind of dark, so let's see if we can pick this out a little bit. Yes, that's just the ticket. All righty. Maybe this one up here could be. Definitely be. Now, let's see what we have here. Nope. Nope. Don't want to, what am I going to do here? That does not, nope. There's many nopes here. The problem is this. The problem is that. Okay, I'm back to square one. I am back to square one, whether I need it or not. Maybe. Glue. Glue. Yes, I guess so. Yes, I guess so. Oh, birdie. Find birdie's home. thinking so. And I'm thinking so. I definitely like that more. Now, G-dye on this, and we're going to just cut off that glued area like it was never there. And that can come off here, and this can go back in, although I might want it. This can go here. Yes, this can go sitting on the leaves right here. Right here. This one, kind of like that little bud. Why? I don't know. Okay, that just became a leaf. That just became a serious little leaf. If I pull that way down, though, I get more of the, I'm sorry, I'm just, well, I'm sure you talk to yourself too and think out loud. I think less is more on this one. I think less is more. I'm going to think about that. And that, oh yes, that little bit. If I get that, ooh, okay, if I could get that way, I wouldn't be losing quite as much of the writing. Okay, I like script, especially that pretty manner. I get my bud too. Get my bud also. Okay, let's start to get things happening. No, because this is going to take some this is going to be handled, and so no. All right, Birdie, I'll find your home. A little bit of art glitter. There's an exactly right spot there. this one. This green brings out the green down below very nicely. Now let's make sure that I do something about getting this on correctly. Yes. And now we need a little bit of something under there. Yes. Not white, Carol, not white. I don't seem to want to leave that alone. No. Nope. Ooh. Maybe. Right side? Wrong side, okay. Maybe. Something's missing. Something is definitely missing. Something is absolutely missing. Just the tiniest bit of tea dye might do the trick. Let's see if we can do something here. Oh, yes. Oh my, yes. Here. And one more. Sometimes that's just all that's needed. Silly, silly, silly. Let's have a look at that again now. Well, now isn't that odd? That all makes sense now. Yes, it certainly does. Let's see if it's quite possible to do what I want to do, which is to go right down these bars. The bars on the lace pattern. Okay. Only art glitter glue sticks fast enough to make this possible. Along with the occasional pop. Along with the occasional pop. Oh, fingers crossed. Whoops. Whoops. Close that puppy up. Now I have to wait for that to dry. Need to wait for that to dry, and then we're going to do that. So that, yes, okay, now let's have some tea dye here. Going to touch that because it's drying. Time to have another think. Well, the bottom of this paper trove just came through. Some little goodies to put on here, and I do believe that today's play will be finished. Alrighty, let's put down these last little bits, and then we'll see what we have accomplished today. I do hope you have taken this in parts, but if not, you get my heroine or hero award. Absolutely. And this little pocket. And this one will go in here. And this one in here, and little bits of surprises, and here. Alrighty, now I'm going to clean up, and then we can visit. Well, thank you again for sharing this longie with me today. I do hope you decided to take it in stages, or to just pick out the bits and bobs that you thought might be interesting. Here is the first thing we accomplished today. These were the two postcards from Rachel at Roxy Creations, and this is what I turned them into. I had no plan, as you remember at the beginning, but here is what happened. A nice cluster on the front, and some stamping, and a little bit of a little tiny bit of collaging here on the back, and I made a nice double-sided hinge on the inside and outside of the cover, and we covered the inside of this paper and decorated it a bit. And here at the back, with a little bit of stamping and using of pretties, and the pages that that I picked for this little mini journal. I thought they might be interesting to use for whatever purpose. And this is a piece of my my paper and my a digi, and I thought that this might do nicely because of the coloring in the center and so forth. And as you notice, I sewed it right down we call that stitching in the ditch if you've had any sewing experience. So I stitched down here in the ditch on this one, and then I thought that this just called for this pretty clip that's been hanging out in my stash for a long time. I think you could say, you could use the H word on that one. Hoard, definitely. And then this other piece from Rachel just talked to me when I saw it this morning. I covered the inside with avocado paper and did a stamp on that so that there's plenty of room for journaling. And a rather simple front and back, and I got with the program as soon as I realized how the background on the back called for some stenciling. And in the center, I found this piece in the bottom of one of my baskets, and it just seemed to work so nicely with the motif of the stencil. And there again, we must never ever forget about stencils like this, especially the Tim Holtz little ones. They're good friends. So, and I decided I'm going to use another one of these. I don't think I have too many left. Isn't that nice? And I thought that would work prettily there. So, if you have enjoyed, please leave a comment. I'll be seeing you soon. Bye now.